Now in the second segment here, which is measures 9 through 13, this is a little bit of an unorthodox segment, which I originally wasn't going to leave in the tune, but because of its angular quality, it seemed to fit in the long run. So coming out of the repeat section, measure 9 is simply... Now right there, that's using my right thumb, index thumb as a flat pick in a way. They all play on 6, P, I, P, or thumb, index, thumb. Now we have a G chord, which you can either strum, or if you can do that Raschiato kind of roll. So you have a G, a brief strum up, just kind of a brush stroke, like I said, then you fall into a D chord. You can strum up, or you can... And then you lift your second finger on your first string, and that's your 2 right there. And then you slide that third finger back, and you go into the A chord. And make sure that when you slide back, you make a little room with that index to keep it down, but make a little space, slide it back into the fret, and only hit your bass with your thumb. Then there's that brush stroke again. I use my index finger, lift the left hand third finger, and I brush strings 2 and 3. And then I fall back into an E major chord, so that index finger, which never should have lifted, slides back to the E. And when it arrives, you hit your bass. Then you have basically a normal type of a measure there where you have a third string. And that's kind of interesting, hopefully, because there's 2 hammer-ons in a row. And then you have, I use my left hand third finger in measure 12 for that 3 on string 2, so that it can ride up to fret 7. And you notice a slight delay in the bend. It's a bend and a release, and if you look at the musical notation, you'll see it's an 1/8 followed by 2/16. And then your index and second finger drop down to cover the 6 and 7. And then you lift your index and your second finger slides back when we're going into measure 13, and your left hand is making that A shape. And by doing that, the nature of those fingers falling down, your left hand third finger is doing a hammer. And that's just a simple A pattern. And even though the 7 goes down to the 2, I believe I do pluck that 2 with my with my right thumb. Then you go to an E major chord, and that's just adding your pinky on the second string, second fret. And I tend to pick that with P and M, or thumb and middle, on the 0s. Then when I have the 2, I borrow my index finger down, and I pluck it down with my left hand pinky, then end with my A finger. So that's just... All right, good luck with that section.